In fiscal year 2001, the National Institutes of Health received $20.3 billion from the federal government in support of its mission. That is the general pursuit of knowledge through science. Nearly 84% of this money supports non-federal researchers, i.e. universities and medical schools throughout the country and the world. So where's the return on our investment?
So the point that the government is implicitly subsidizing R&D is true.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the cost of R&D estimates that Demassey, for example, produced on, the $800 billion number.
Despite having certain patent rights to at least four $500 million a year blockbuster drugs, the NIH has received nothing in the form of royalty. But that's okay, because in 2000, U.S. Congressional Joint Economic Committee issued the Benefits of Medical Research and the Role of NIH, finding that although the rate of return on publicly funded research is difficult to quantify, the benefit of increased life expectancy in the U.S. as a result of advances in healthcare creates annual net gains of about $2.4 trillion in 1992. The committee concluded if only 10% of these increases in value, $240 billion, are the result of NIH-funded medical research, it indicates a payoff about 15 times the taxpayers' annual NIH investment of $16 billion.
It's not an ideal system. And it's also hard to find it's not clear what a better system would be. It's sort of, what I'm going to end up telling you is you could call it a necessary evil, or it's sort of the best option of a whole bunch of bad options.
A key feature of the pharmaceutical industry is that drugs can be manufactured at a variable cost of pennies per pill, but drug companies incur high fixed research and development costs to bring new drugs to market. If manufacturers were paid prices that reflected their actual production costs, as in the pennies per pill, other industries do, the average cost of a drug would not be covered, and the companies would lose money. So with lower prices, drug company profits would diminish, and research and development efforts may be reduced, resulting in a diminished flow of new drugs. There is therefore a constant tension between drug policies that control today's prices and those that promote tomorrow's innovative products. So we're paying the cost of innovation.
And where this R&D expenditure comes up is, if you took a policy step, if you took an action to control the price of drugs, which implicitly is what a lot of other countries do, what might happen, and I think it's a realistic concern, is if you drop the price of a new drug down below the cost of the R&D to produce it, what company is going to sink $800 million or $1 billion in developing a new drug if their profits after they develop it are going to be less than that amount?
Of course, in some cases, pharmaceutical companies can't seem to help taking advantage of the consumer demand that advertising leads to. A multinational pharmaceutical company, Celgene's first big seller was thalidomide, a decades-old medicine now used as a cancer treatment, which is so cheap to manufacture that a company in Brazil sells it for pennies a pill. Celgene initially spent very little on research and priced each pill in 1998 at $6. As the drug's popularity against cancer grew, the company raised the price 30-fold to about $180 per pill, or $66,000 per year. The price increases reflected the medicine's value, company executives said. So you generally see TV advertising as an okay thing?
I mean,
as far as your research on statins?
My research on statins suggests it's not only okay, but it's actually good, that it's make societies better off for having.
Total spending on pharmaceutical promotion grew from $11.4 billion in '96 to $29.9 billion in 2005. A 2008 study by York University researchers found that the U.S. pharmaceutical industry spent 24.4% of sales dollars on promotion versus only 13.4% for research and development, as a percentage of domestic sales of $235.4 billion.
And so if it's in the case of products, in the case of statins, where the ads seem to have some real social benefits, what that suggests is that the drug companies may not actually be spending enough on the ads.
Commercially and financially effective, apparently. A study by the Kaiser Family Foundation concluded that DTC advertising, direct-to-consumer advertising, produces a significant return for the pharmaceutical industry. Every additional $1 the industry spent on direct-to-consumer advertising in 2000 yielded an additional $4.20 in sales. In fact, while Americans roughly doubled their spending on new automobiles between 1980 and 2003 and tripled their spending on clothing, they increased their spending on prescription drugs 17 times over.
It's still not clear whether on average these things are making society better or worse, but it looks like they're at least not that bad.
And certainly drug marketing can prove informative. As with the statins, people are more aware of conditions and the potential treatments, and yet overprescription and drug abuse are unavoidable and only heightened by drug advertising. Moreover, drug advertisements often fail to inform the market of available generics, much less costly and just as effective.